Live, ladies and gentlemen, the defenders of indie wrestling are here once again. Welcome to the Squared Circle. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Right in the middle, after a 2-week hiatus. Glad to see you're back.
Thank you.
And fully operational, 100%. Reporting for duty.
Yep,
Ruckus.
we're back.
John Zimmerman, he's back.
Thank you, thank you.
Right. And to my far right, ladies and gentlemen, a man needs no introduction, but we'll just do it anyway, because I guess we have to. Dangerous Dan Hoff.
You better. There you go. All right.
Right. There we are. What a week, what a weekend it has been in wrestling, mainstream and independent wrestling alike. Over the weekend, we crowned our very first Dissension Pro Wrestling champion up in Torrington, Connecticut. Our first time at Dissension Pro Wrestling, their first champion.
Yep.
And we had the first interview with the first ever champion.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. Nobody else can say they did that. But we did it.
Very good.
And we'll be bringing that to you very, very shortly. As far as I know, all the glitches in our system over the past 2 weeks have been solved.
See, I'm not here, and you guys mess it all up.
Well,
Oh, you just blame it on us, why don't you? Right.
even when you're not here, John, there's a ruckus. See?
Yeah.
Right. You just started the ruckus and it just kept going.
There you go.
And it just trickled everywhere. So it was just an amazing, amazing event. It was a tournament called Lord of the Ring Tournament.
Yes.
And there were 4 matches. And one of the matches was actually a gauntlet match to determine who would face ZPB, Zachary Periwalu, and the winner of that wound up, I believe, if I'm not messing it up, going on to the Four Corners main event match.
Right.
Right.
And in that gauntlet match, they had competitors of all sizes and shapes, all genders, which I thought was cool.
Oh yeah.
Because Toxis was in there.
Right.
Right along with the male competitors.
Right. Toxis proved she could definitely go toe to toe with any guy out there.
There you go.
Right. And it ended up getting eliminated, unfortunately, but you know, it was a great crowd. Decent turnout.
From the footage that I saw, and we'll see momentarily, it was a very hot crowd, packed, jam-packed, and J.J. Alexander put on quite the show. And we're looking forward to seeing what he comes up with next.
Right. Had a special treat for JJ and Dissension Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Instead of just using the little one, we brought the big one.
Yeah. Camera, that is.
Camera, that is. Right.
Gentlemen.
The quality of it. I don't know. We've used that. We used our big cameras for the big event.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think for some reason I think the picture quality is just a little bit better yet.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you use that as a hard camera as well.
Right.
And then you have the handy cam, so it all works out. And when it's put together nicely, it's going to be a quality production, and that's what we aim for.
Exactly. Quality. Quality is what they deserve. This show is not about me. It's not about John over here. It's not about Dan over here. It's about them.
Right.
It's about PWA. It's about PvP. It's about Blitzkrieg. Dissension. We'll go on and on.
Right.
We could keep going. RPW. We could, you know.
Oh yeah.
Keep naming them off.
Yep.
Right. It's to help them. You never know. One day, you could say you found out about them first here on the Squared Circle.
Right. You know, tying in the one we're going to come up with next, on the independent scene in the New England area, Sasha Banks. She was a local champion here in New England, and now she's the WWE Women's Champion.
The WWE Women's Champion.
So, you know, I mean, this past weekend, you may have filmed the next WWE Heavyweight Champion or Universal Champion, which is the new title that will be coming out at SummerSlam.
Right.
So, you know, we always say, you know, you see it here first. You go to the independent shows. You know, the guys in the four-way match all came from NXT, and prior to that, they were on the independent scene. And you never know who you're going to see. I predict Wrecking Ball Legursky is going to have a huge future in front of him, and Bobby Ocean definitely has a huge future in front of him, and a lot of the fine young men and women that we've had the pleasure of seeing on the local scene. You know, I mean, that's primarily their goal, is to get to the show. And, you know, Sasha Banks proves that you can, you know, be wrestling here in New England, you know, 1 year, and then a couple of years later, you
On a show that I was once associated with, actually the Top Rope,
yep.
Mr. Trivia and I had the privilege of speaking to a woman who was then known as Mercedes KV,
Right.
who we now know as the new women's champion, Sasha Banks.
And my point exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I mean, you're watching the footage that we show, and you're going to the local events, you know, PWA, you know, all the folks that you just mentioned. You never know who's going to show up on either TNA, which you watch,
Right.
and only you, and you know, WWE and Ring of Honor, and you know, it's just fantastic. You know, Matt Taven, you know, is a prime example. You know, went from Northeast Wrestling over to Ring of Honor. So you never know who's going to come up next and be the next top star on your TV screen.
Right.
So
And of course, Justin the Hammer Tunis, who works different promotions as well as PVP, Pioneer Valley, up in Massachusetts, was very complimentary on to the fact that Sasha had accomplished that, and he felt
Right.
that it was one of our own going up there. And
Right.
yeah,
Messaged that on Facebook earlier today. I did happen to see that.
yeah,
As you figure, a lot of the people we're dealing with now once dealt with her.
right. Sheldon Goldberg, I believe, was another one that mentioned that as well. So
All right. It goes to show you about just this southern New England area, New York area. You got a lot of great talent coming out of here.
yep.
Right.
So support the independent wrestling, and you'll be able to say, I saw her or him, you know, at the Boys and Girls Club, or you know, at the lodge, or what have you.
Right.
You know, you might not think it's much now, but you know, looking back, you know, here you are. She's the women's champion
Right.
of the largest wrestling company in the world. So,
Everybody started out there.
yeah.
Just about every wrestler
in
started out.
the Ascension Pro Wrestling went on to, they put their admission, which I thought was nice. I've never seen another indie company do this. They had their general admission price, and then they had the children's admission price and / people with disabilities were $8. And I had asked JJ, and he said, well, it's the right thing to do.
Good.
Which shows you how classy they are.
Very, very, very classy individuals. Definitely would come back. But as soon as the footage is ready, they're going to let me know,
Okay.
and we will be showing it. We have that first exclusive interview
Excellent.
with the first ever DPW champion, Bobby Ocean, as soon as it is available. But this is also a historic night on the mainstream front, as we like to call it. Don't adjust your TV sets if or you know, it is an hour earlier than we usually come on.
Yeah.
And moving forward, we are going to be on at this time slot because, again, for the second time in Squared Circle history, we have decided to give up the ratings war.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Originally, we were on Monday nights at 8 o'clock,
Yep.
and then Raw decided to move to 3 hours.
Yes.
So we had to move to Monday nights at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And then we just decided to turn around and move to Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock where there was no competition.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's competition.
Yep.
So, again, we have to do what's best for business.
Well, now don't forget we're going up against Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. You know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You know.
Maybe we should move to 6.
I don't think you'd make it here by 6.
Then we're up against the news.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we are the news
Right.
for some people.
For some, yeah. We're the only news that really matters, I
That's
think.
right. That's right.
I mean, that convention last week and that convention this week, I mean, who really cares? It's about wrestling.
I thought that was more like Ringling Brothers, but
Wrestling is life.
that was more of a circus than it was
Right.
politics. But
Right.
we won't go there.
Right. The reason why we have decided not to pursue a ratings war with WWE SmackDown is due to the fact that after about a year or two of not being separate brands,
Yep.
I believe, around there,
Yeah.
maybe 3, WWE decided once again to split their roster and have a draft. And this time we have, not only do we have 2 separate general managers, we also have 2 separate commissioners.
Yes.
So you got a commissioner and a GM for each show. You have a brand new opening for Raw. We're probably going to be unveiling a brand new opening and video package for SmackDown
SmackDown
tonight.
Live.
SmackDown Live, they're now calling it.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I think it was a very good move on WWE's part to bring SmackDown live because by the time Thursday came around, they had been filming on Tuesday for quite some time now.
For
And
years.
then airing on Thursday. And in this day and age between Twitter and Instagram, and as the event is going on, people are posting to various social medias. So by the time Thursday rolls around, anyone that really is interested in SmackDown and what is going to happen already knew. And also for advertisers covet a live product over a filmed product, a taped product, in the sports entertainment realm. That's why the NFL and other sports can demand higher revenue for advertising rates because you have viewers that are there and watching it as it's happening, and they're less likely to fast forward or change the channel or skip the commercial. So advertisers want you to see what they're trying to sell to you. So on a live show, more people are apt to see their advertising. So best for business, WWE SmackDown Live. We're going to get better ad rates.
Better ad rates. I think better ratings altogether for
Yeah.
the Blue product.
Because
which was-
right. Because by Thursday, if you already know what's going to happen, you're not interested in watching it anymore.
Right.
And you've seen the various clips that people.
SmackDown was always known as like basically for the past couple of years a repeat of Monday Night Raw
Raw Part 2, yeah.
or Raw Part 2, or a lot of negative criticism.
Yeah, and
behind it.
splitting the brand, makes it more interesting because you're not seeing the same matches you saw on Monday night.
Right.
You're seeing a different roster, you're seeing different matches, and I think it's a good move on
You're
their
not
part.
seeing what you saw on Monday night, and you weren't before seeing the bigger name stars, which
Right.
I guess be it by seniority,
Yeah.
be it by popularity, got to have SmackDown off.
Right.
Even though there was no brand split, I don't think Cena really made too many appearances on SmackDown.
Right, and I mean,
Or
Jerry,
Randy Orton.
not Jerry, Jim Ross, excuse me. I almost said Jerry Lawler. Jim Ross on his podcast always referred to SmackDown as Raw Light,
Right.
as in Bud and Bud Light, Raw Light, and he was correct. So hopefully, it's a new direction and a brand new day, no pun intended, for the SmackDown product, and we'll see what the ratings get, and then we'll see what the stock gets.
Right. I mean,
So.
you're seeing John Cena there tonight, Randy Orton, both going to be on SmackDown now, no
Yep.
longer on Raw,
Right.
as we reported last week. AJ Styles is moving over to Raw,
Yep.
and the WWE heavyweight title will be the exclusive property of SmackDown
Yes. Yep.
Live with Dean Ambrose. Right, and the whole basis behind it, everything tonight is going to be Dean Ambrose is here with the belt, and now we need a new number 1 contender.
Yep.
Now,
For him.
I have to admit, I did tune in and watch the show last night. I thought it was very good.
Raw?
Raw, or as you call it, the red brand.
Right. You notice a big
Thought it-
difference from the
thought
week
it-
before?
Yeah, thought it was a lot better. I managed to stay awake this week all the time until the main event.
Actually, I didn't see the main event.
Oh, see, there you go.
I do want to congratulate Shinedown, one of the local favorites, for getting their song as the opener of Raw.
Right.
I do like the song. I'm going to have to snag that, and maybe we'll play a little bit of it.
Maybe. Yeah. Until somebody says something. Yeah.
No, that'll be fine.
Right.
But it is a good song, and Shinedown is a very popular. I don't know if you would go as far as calling them metal, but good solid rock band. And it's a lot of fun. Best song that Raw's had in quite some time.
Right.
So.
And they've had several over the years.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Some of them are good, some just okay. But I do like the new song. What's that? Nickelback was the best.
Although like
I don't know if you'd ever get me to say that phrase again.
although like I was saying, I missed the whole concept of the universal title over the world title, because traditionally your world championship is the goal.
Right.
Now you're going to have a
Universal.
universal championship.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that diminish the level of the world championship?
It could easily. It could. Time's going to have to tell. I mean, it depends on who they give the universal title to, and if the person's more popular than who has the WWE title. I
Right.
think for the time being, that's what's going to determine. If this universal title, named after the WWE universe,
Right.
we'll do that to the WWE.
And ironically enough, they're on NBC Universal Television.
Right.
And TNA films out of Universal Studios.
Well,
Wow, it's all relative.
it's a whole wide universe.
Right.
It's a conspiracy, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So, bottom line, with Raw, what they did last night was they had two Fatal 4-Way matches.
Yep.
The winners of those Fatal 4-Way matches were Roman Reigns and a recently returning Roman Reigns from suspension. And the recently recruited from NXT to Monday Night Raw, Finn Balor,
Yes.
who, his record speaks for itself as far as accomplishments
Yeah.
throughout the world.
Yep.
Let alone, I think he's held the NXT title a couple times at least now.
Yep.
Who I had never, not having the network, I had never seen Finn Balor before. I was impressed with him.
You might recall him as Prince Devitt from
Yep.
TNA.
I thought if they somewhere down the line, if they pair him up with the man that gravity forgot,
Neville.
Neville,
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a heck of a tag team.
Possibility.
I don't.
You never know, but I think
It
right
would
now.
be it would be a dynamic duo, but I don't see them going in that direction at the moment.
Right.
I think if it turns out that Finn Balor gets the belt at SummerSlam, I think he's the right guy for it. And if they, with the right backing, he'll be a really good face, going forward for Monday Night Raw,
I think he's been one of the more popular NXT champions
without a doubt.
But
they've had.
But if they give him and I assume you're talking about the Universal belt
Correct.
at their next pay-per-view, isn't that a slight towards some of the veterans who have been there longer?
I have made that argument in the past.
Yeah.
But I think for the, if we're looking at a business standpoint, best for business, they're coming up with this, this new idea and this a whole new concept, and they're calling it a new era of WWE. Had the Attitude Era, we had the Classic Era. Now they want to move forward. I think putting a new face on this new product and rather than giving us another title run for a John Cena or a Randy Orton or somebody that has had it before and we've seen, bringing in somebody new to the product, and you yourself admittedly don't have the network and haven't seen him before, so he's completely new to a viewer like yourself. So I really think moving forward, putting a new face on the company, having somebody that's new, dynamic, he gets a huge pop from the crowd, and seeing him interact as we've never done before. I think it's a really smart move, because how many times have we sat here and said, you know, the same old, same old, same old. We see the same 10 guys fight the same 10 guys in every kind of combination, every type of match, and it's gotten stale. And you know, I'm looking forward to the new era.
It's just that they have to be careful how fast they advance the new era, because let's not forget the mistake they made trying to advance Roman Reigns and shove him down everybody's throat too fast.
This might be a little bit different, though.
Yeah, I think,
Right.
you know, with a guy like Neville that you mentioned and a guy like Finn Balor, they've got so much experience far and above what Roman Reigns had. And it's not Roman Reigns' fault that he was put into that position. Roman Reigns was not on the independent scene for a very long time, was not in the precursor to NXT for very long. And he just kind of got pushed along because of his pedigree, so to speak. And you know, a guy like Neville and Finn Balor and some of the other newer talent that are coming out of NXT had already been on the independent scene and already have a lot of experience under their belt. I think the problem with Roman Reigns being pushed into that spot is that he just didn't have enough experience, not only ring experience, but experience in front of a crowd, experience with a microphone, and he was just really thrust into a spot that he wasn't prepared for. So I think a lot of the talent...
A lot was expected of Roman Reigns.
Right. And a lot of the talent that are coming through NXT have been on the mic, have been in front of you know, crowds, and have honed their craft for a lot more time than Roman Reigns was
Had
allowed
some
to.
experience before getting to NXT.
Correct.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I will say that putting Finn Balor as the face of the company just strengthens the idea that they're moving forward with something and somebody new.
Absolutely. With Raw, the brand is going to be great. Yeah, I mean, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Sasha Banks, the new women's champion, of course. Charlotte. You also have Enzo Amore and Big Cass, which was one of the more funner tag teams out there now.
Yeah, funner.
Funner.
Yeah,
Funner.
That one
funner's
that
a
they
word,
were-
yeah.
It's a word, whatever. I just invented
is
a
now.
word, ladies and
Wow,
gentlemen.
you heard it there first.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
Funner. And you can't teach that.
that. Neville, Paige, Sheamus, Cesaro, Finn Balor, we mentioned, of course. Braun Strowman seeing himself without the rest of the Wyatts, all by himself.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what they'll do with Luke Harper. Luke Harper is still out.
Right.
Right.
Well, bring him in, tag him with him, or we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
What's the status of Heath Slater?
That is a good question.
At the end of the draft, he's just sitting there waiting to be drafted, and the lights go out,
And that was it.
and that was it.
He
So,
never got drafted anywhere.
The other social outcast got drafted, and poor
He just
Heath
sat
is-
there all by himself.
So we may find out tonight.
Maybe, just maybe, it's something they were holding out for. Don't know. You also had Titus O'Neil, the Club, of course. That's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, without AJ Styles.
Right.
To them, they're saying the Club is on Raw, the Club is on SmackDown. Maybe they need more members of the Club. Darren Young, who Bob Backlund vows to make great again. I don't know where else we've heard that. Chris Jericho, Nia Jax. That's a tough woman.
She's a big one. She scares me.
She's a big one. She sure is.
You know, I'll wait. I'm going to take a wait and see attitude, but at the moment, I don't think she's showing very much talent in the ring, and she's going to be given just local talent to squash.
That's the builder up. Then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's the same example as Roman Reigns. I think they really got her into NXT and pushed her along,
Kind of like the
too
reason
fast.
why you used to see Sid Vicious or Sid Justice powerbomb
Yeah.
guys, and the stretcher would come out, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right, they might do something like that, and have they put the girl on the stretcher, and then Nia Jax takes the thing.
Yeah.
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 Right.
I'll take a wait and see with Nia Jax.
The New Day, the Golden Truth, Big Show, and the Dudley Boys, Mark Henry, Rusev with Lana, of course.
Yeah, the Golden Truth were chasing Pikachu last night.
Right. Sort of like the way what Jeremy Leary was doing in his last match at PvP was playing Pokemon Go while wrestling. Right. That's a skill.
Apparently,
Right. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't play kids games.
no. It's far from a kid's game at the moment.
Right.
It's going to push Nintendo. So talking about stock, it's going to push Nintendo stock right through the roof.
Right.
So.
Just be careful you don't walk out into traffic.
Right.
Or fall off a cliff.
Right.
Right.
Or going to sacred monuments and sites that you're supposed to be paying respect to.
And finding a Pikachu there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't even tell me.
If you saw some of the postings, without getting into politics, I don't think she should be walking the grounds of Auschwitz looking for imaginary
kidding me?
characters. No, but that's a whole other show.
Oh boy.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah. That's a whole other. That's a whole other
at
subject.
or at the memorial for the victims of 9/11, looking for Pokemon.
I don't think that's a good.
There's a time and a place for everything, and that's not the time nor the place.
Absolutely not.
I mean, there are sites that are designed to pay respect to, the sacrifices of men and women that were there before you, and Arlington Cemetery would be off limits in my opinion.
Absolutely.
My opinion, and
Vietnam Memorial, of course.
yeah,
Things like that.
Right, things like that, where you're there to pay respect. You're not there to be playing games.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I totally agree with that.
We digress.
All right. We digress. Like we said tonight.
Yeah, you had a stumble mumble problem with that one, didn't you?
What?
Digress.
No.
Yes, you did.
I said we digress.
No, you stumbled at first, bro.
All right.
But
Ambrose
we
brings
can ask
the-
our studio audience if
Like we said, Ambrose
it's
brings the
coming from the guy that's funny.
WWE title with him to the Blue Brand tonight. John Cena and AJ Styles will also continue their issues. That's a little bit of a preview of SmackDown.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
See what happens.
Yeah, it's a whole new era, and hope moving forward. Now I guess we're gonna have 2 pay-per-views a month, one for Raw, one for SmackDown.
They're going to go back to doing that again.
Right.
Right.
Maybe to draw more viewers to the network. I think they're making smart moves. In the sense of best for business. So hopefully the stock will see some boost as a result.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
how are we looking on that footage?
I don't know. I don't
And
know what's going on with that.
And of course, if we get to watch 2 pay-per-views a month, that means we get 2 buffalo chicken pies a month.
2.
2.
Well, we may have to switch up.
We may have to.
Well, you introduced me to buffalo chicken pizza. I may have to introduce you to like clam pizza.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen.
Come
That
on,
ain't kosher.
gotta have that.
That don't happen, my friend.
Right.
That ain't kosher for me. So
Mm-hmm.
no, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's. Do they usually take their lunch around now?
Well, you're always out to lunch, so.
Here we go.
I am here at Dissension Pro Wrestling in Torrington, Connecticut. Tonight we made indie wrestling history. We crowned the first Dissension Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion. After the Lord of the Ring tournament, 4 people qualified for that tournament. This is the winner of the results of that tournament, the new heavyweight champion, Bobby Ocean. How's it feeling tonight?
Man, it's a lot of emotions right now. I mean, I've been with this company since the beginning, and
It must have fallen out,
been the
'cause I
heavyweight
heard you
champion
before.
of this company, and knowing it's been years, like 5+ years
that's
or
all
more.
right. We switched it up.
to
We mixed it up.
finally
That's all.
say I'm
I was
deep
going to talk
heavyweight
about our
champion.
second half, but we'll just do this the
It's a
second
lot,
half.
lot of emotions. A lot of emotions. I'm happy, man.
This one's in there.
Yeah, you're happy. You finally made it. You're the first.
you know
Nobody
what?
else can ever say that. Nobody else can ever take that away from you.
No,
Yeah.
but now, with me being the first, now it's who's next?
You can
Who's
do
going to come
maybe
after
like
this
when
now?
there's 5
Because
minutes
there's a
left.
bunch of guys back there that now know who the heavyweight champion is, and they're all going to want a shot now.
Definitely. I don't think Hammer Tunis, knowing him, is taking this lightly at all, neither. He's a little bit disappointed. That's especially Mr. Danucci.
He is very disappointed, and if Hammer Tunes wants a shot, hey, be my guest, sign right on the dotted line. I'm taking all challenges. I'm not ducking anybody.
No, I'm sure you'll have your first title defense the next time we're up here.
Definitely.
Well, pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
That was the first ever.
You know what the best part of that clip was?
What?
We couldn't see you.
Who needs to see me?
Exactly.
Right.
Now, I'm
Well-
assuming that was your camera work.
Yes. Jay's not the important part there. As we've
Right.
said before,
Right.
the independent talent is the important part.
Right. Years ago, I used to think about how important I was, and that's how the name Hollywood Jay Williams came about. And I was the biggest icon in North Haven. And I created North Haven in 3 days. And
Wow.
yeah, if it wasn't for me, the town wouldn't exist. But you know what? That was a long time ago. I was a different person back then. I was more arrogant back then.
Ah.
And,
Right.
and now you spend more time thinking of things that are funner.
More exciting.
He's not going to get over that.
Like Dissension Pro Wrestling.
Right. Exactly.
Like
So what-
footage from Dissension Pro Wrestling.
Is that what we have?
We have footage from Dissension Pro Wrestling.
Well, what are we waiting for?
I don't know what we're waiting for. You know what? But if this doesn't come up, that's Wrestle Jam.
That's Wrestle Jam.
That's Wrestle Jam. That's Dissension Pro Wrestling.
Did you bring that?
I did.
Ah.
Here it is. Here we go. This is. Watch this. This is Glenn Oddity in there. Calling some clotheslines, of course, with members of the Revelation. And Glenn Oddity was teaming with Nick King this past Saturday night. The younger brother of William King, of course. And just watch this for about a minute or two while this runs. Oddity and Nick King. Taking on Jack Kruger and Dante Draconis. Now what is that? Were you expecting that, Dan?
No, but there's some days I like to give you that.
You know what? We're gonna have to get this man call the show and explain the logic in doing what he just did. He's young, he's a rookie, he doesn't have nearly the experience his brother has, obviously. It's his first match at DPW, but why go that route? And look at him. It's like JJ's controlling his mind.
And speaking of our friend Justin the Hammer Tunis, he's going against Jay Freddy, who I believe is from New York. Tunis being brought to the ring by a good friend of Hollywood.
I admire his work.
I don't know what that's called. Pretty cool.
And ladies and gentlemen, your next GPW champion,
Don't get to see Jay Freddy too often there, Dan.
You're right, Jason. He's certainly somebody that you don't see too often.
A lot more in the New York area.
Right, which is good about this card put on by Dissension Pro Wrestling. They brought in talent that you don't normally see every day.
No. I mean, Tunis is, you know, we see Tunis and Dimitri on the show numerous times and footage. Jay Freddy, I mean, it's a good opportunity for people to get to know him a little bit in the Connecticut area.
PW. Certainly some of the familiar faces in the crowd that we've seen at other shows.
Oh yeah.
One thing,
It's a similar roster to PvP is what's great. The ring might even be familiar to some people out there that follow Pioneer Valley. And it's the same ring.
one thing I saw about the concession stand here, they not only had the usual hamburgers and fries, but you could get ice cream sundaes with all the sections for $3.
Right. With all the fixtures. That's better than Carvel. For Dairy Queen.
Well, it just makes it fun.
Okay, I created a word, Dan. Did you get over it?
Southern Rockets is my job.
Now, look at Jay Freddy over there. Now he's taking it to twos a little bit.
Yeah, Jay Freddy seems to be keeping himself in pretty good shape, obviously. And like you said, he's taking it to Tuna. Tuna's flat on his back in the mat.
Right. Not easy thing to do. You don't see Tunis lying flat in his back too often. He's up on the apron.
Danucci provided the distraction. And if you can tell in the corner, way in the back, is a guest that we've had on the show before.
Way in the back.
Yeah, El Gibroni.
Right.
He came up and said hello to us and invited us to an upcoming show. Jay, Ken Broadway has, I guess you'd call it a mohawk.
Yes.
With this hot summer weather, is that something you're looking forward to trying out?
Absolutely not. And Broadway, we haven't shown any footage of him in a really long time. Since the winter, I don't know.
I think when they heard that music, a lot of people were looking around to think that Sting was coming in the building.
I know.
Action Ortiz is a rather sizable man who takes a while to get going, but he's got some good moves to him.
Ken Broadway was shows him some clips of from Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling back in the early days. At the time, he was aligned with The Answer to Your Prayers, Ariella Nix. He's got those clips on the inside.
Right, and certainly even as we look through the crowd, there's some local celebrities.
Right.
Saying from Joey Embersini's on the scene or no?
We did not see this.
No? Not really with this one?
No.
No, Joey didn't make this one. Another one of our friends did.
Charles. Cato.
Yeah.
Of course. You can't see him. He's there are other seats on the left of the ring. He's over there. He's hard at work filling out his match report.
Well, Charles does a good job of that. I believe he said it took him 2 hours to get there.
That's dedication. That's dedication. As far as I think I've gone so far, that is.
You going to disqualify it? You going to away or no?
Ken Broadway, a lot on his back, thinking of other things at the moment. Maybe perhaps even counting the lights.
There's Charles right there.
Despite his size, can fly. He's at the middle rope.
Right, he felt that the next day. Broadway can definitely go. He's calling a cruiserweight, maybe even a little heavier than that. Maybe a young version of Booker T.
Possibly. Got the physique.
Well, whenever you limit somebody to be just being quote unquote a cruiserweight, you kind of pigeonholing them into just one size limit.
I don't know.
Whereas-
I'm just getting your opinions on it. That's all.
Whereas if they were an X division wrestler, there are no limits,
Right.
Right.
so they can be, you know.
Right.
I mean, Samoa Joe was X division champion at one point. To show you the size.
We have from the previous Saturday, we went to WrestleJam 14, and I did have 11 minutes of it, but due to some time constraints, we're going to show 5. We can always get to the rest next week, but here we go.
Going on, man? Not too much. What was your general impression of WrestleJam? I thought it was a great show. They put on a great show in the past. They lived up to the expectations. Once again, great card. A lot of high-flying action. Nice to Chicago come down here and put it up against Connecticut's finest. I thought it was a great show. I heard a lot of great things about Chicago. What about that main event, that 8-man?
Main event was insane. It could have went either way at any time. Inside the ring, outside the ring. It was a great show.
Definitely. It was great. we definitely look forward to coming back here again and seeing you in a future Wrestle Jam.
Sounds great. I am here at Wrestle Jam with RJ2, the #1 floor commentator for Wrestle Jam.
Oh, you're flattering. Thank you so much. You enjoyed the show?
I totally enjoyed the show. Did it exceed your expectations?
I would say so. I would say so. This place was pretty packed. I mean, we have over 250 plus here. Every match, people were screaming, going crazy. I mean, how about that main event?
The main event, that was the best 8-man tag I've seen in my entire life.
That makes two of us, man. And my voice is gone from being on commentary. Like,
It must be. You're going to get laryngitis now from that.
oh yeah.
It must be hard to keep track of all that action and all four corners of the ring.
Funny you say that, because there was actually a few times on commentary I actually did say, I can't even keep track of everything that's going on right now. It was mayhem from bell to bell. And yeah, it was wild, man. It was,
I was waiting for them to go over the guard railing over here. We were sitting right over here.
I wouldn't have been surprised. And how about that Bobby Ocean Tim Donst?
Bobby Ocean, Tim Donst. The girls, they killed it.
Top to bottom, this card was incredible. Richard Holiday making his debut with us here tonight.
Of course, Eric Essex. We had a show last week.
Yes, a lot of good stuff. Well, thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Once again, Wrestle Jam 14. I am here with not only the founder of Tom Dacey, but the brother of royalty, William King. Nick King, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. King. That's my dad, but
Billy did a great job. Always does. Great wrestler. Pain in the ass. But I digress. #1 best-selling author show.
We won't go that far. But all in all tonight, everybody did great. Everybody put on the best show that they possibly could. The main event was amazing.
I was going to ask you, what did you think of that 8-man? Those 10 8-man tag I think I've ever seen.
It was so great to see Dave Cole back. He's been out for so long with that knee injury. I'm so glad he's back. And the four of those guys, perfect. New England's finest, baby.
New England's finest. That's me during the whole thing.
That's how we do it. We go strong in New England.
We do. New England's strong. Always.
Yes.
See you at DPW.
Oh, yeah. I'll also be at DPW.
We'll see you next week at DPW.
I'll see you at DPW. Definitely.
Bobby Ocean, the brand new first ever DPW heavyweight champion. There would be if it's Shikara versus the Northeast.
Come on, everybody.
Just a little taste.
Yeah.
We're gonna show a little bit more next week, and
Yeah.
I have a little more editing to do on the WrestleJam
Right.
SD card as well.
And
So,
as always, per the promoter, no finishes.
right.
So we're not going to give those away.
No.
But just fantastic footage. You guys went out and did a great job, as always, and can't tell you how much I appreciate it and how much the fans appreciate it. And
This
some great
weekend
shows.
we are off, but the following weekend we're back up in South Hadley for Pioneer Valley Summer
Nice.
Games.
And of course, there was an interview with RJ Tooth.
Right.
He's just a great guy and one of the better minds in the wrestling business today. And he dropped by my house over my hiatus. And
Did he really?
Yeah, we did some catching up. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, he's a good guy.
And
Good guy.
speaking of catching up, I got the chance to catch up with his father, Ronnie, who I've known for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's also a very wonderful guy. The seed doesn't fall far from the tree on that one.
No. Nice to see him, of course.
Yep.
With 2 minutes left, I do want to reiterate this. August 6th is Pioneer Valley Summer Games. Announcement was made. Toxis will defend her women's title against Skylar from
Nice.
Doug's Angels.
Yep.
But Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling made a huge announcement last night for their Them versus Us. That is August 27th in Enfield
Yep.
at Mount Carmel Park. Brian Fury, Firebrand, Brian Fury at Them versus Us, the anniversary event, will take on. I want to know how they got this guy to come out here from Europe, but arguably one of the more popular independent wrestlers in the entire world, Tommy End.
Wow.
Right. I hear a lot of great things about Tommy End. I
Yep.
hear NXT things about Tommy
Yeah.
End real soon.
Yep.
Tommy End.
Very nice. And
NXT.
again, just reiterates our point. And you go, you go to the independent scene, you see these guys. You may not know their name today, but tomorrow they'll be in the big leagues, and you'll say, "Hey, I saw those guys." You know.
From what I'm told, if you don't know who Tommy End is yet, in the very near future, you're going to know who Tommy End
You'll
is.
find out.
Whether you go to that Blitzkrieg show in August or not.
And we'll certainly be there to cover that.
Right. Of course. Oh, I have somebody I know wants Tommy End's autograph. This is how big a deal he is.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do our research.
Excellent.
Right.
Right.
Any final thoughts with under a minute?
And we of course we treat our anybody that we record their matches to show them to the fans, because we like to go to the quality shows, the creme de la creme.
Only the best.
Only the best.
Only the best.
Anybody can go to 6 shows in one day, but unless you're seeing the best of the best, then
Exactly.
and we'll never insult the independent talent by making disco videos out of their hard ring work.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Mr. Zimmerman,
I'm fine.
you're fine.
Yep.
I'm fine. We're going to see you next week. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night. Good luck. Stay tuned.